So this video is about my experience during the summer of 2015. I had the privilege of working with an amazing company owned by a wonderful person who I actually met in Costa Rica during my permaculture course. Her name is Emily Dutra, and she owns an organic landscaping company in Nantucket, Massachusetts. I was really privileged and honored to work with her, alongside her, because she taught me a lot of more hands-on work that I actually was needing to build up my confidence with gardening and such. I was really lucky because she was really permacultural oriented, and so we got to build many interesting things, including Hugelkulturs. If you don't know what a Hugelkultur is, I made a previous video of an ordinary Hugelkultur. This is the same principle, same methodology, but just with a little different twist. This is a high raised bed Hugelkultur in which we use pine wood to make the structure of the raised beds, and we use landscaping cloth as the lining. So the process is essentially the same as any typical Hugelkultur. You find large masses of wood, logs, and you place them at the base of your Hugelkultur. And then you build your way up, going smaller. The woods that I believe we used were primarily pine, scrub oak, and perhaps maybe some birch wood. So we went and put the largest ones in the bottom and really squeezed the rest of the smaller logs in between the crevices and between the small spaces. Once we had that going, the next step is to add a little bit of nitrogen. So we used grass clippings and we placed them in between the little air pockets. Air is still an important factor of having a healthy conditions for soil. So as long as it's neatly packed, you should be fine. You don't really have to go hysterical and really packing it in heavily. Once the logs were stuffed with grass, we went ahead and placed some branches on top of that. And we went ahead and used hydrangea clippings. And afterwards we noticed that we could have gotten a little bit heavier on the grass. So we tucked in a little bit more grass underneath the hydrangea clippings. Then we added a layer of compost, and we made sure to spread it all around evenly. We made sure to add moisture, so we went and watered it pretty heavily. Typically in Hugelkulturs, it's a very extremely low maintenance and low watering. So this is just an instance of the installation. Once your Hugelkultur is properly off and running, the need for irrigation won't be as high. But as far as the installation goes, it is necessary to give it a good watering. And then afterwards, we added another layer of grass all around, followed by another layer of compost. And then afterwards, we started to really get the shape of the mound that we were desiring. So we started to trim any excess branches that were really poking out. And then the last layer is to add topsoil. We added a good fair amount of topsoil, so you do want to be pretty generous with the amount that you use. And luckily for us, it started raining, so that kind of did fulfill our last need for watering it. So this is simply another form of Hugelkultur that you can make. In my previous video, I talk all about how Hugelkulturs work and how they're so great. And specific to this design, I would mention that it was designed for our client, and our client is elderly, and unfortunately her vision was starting to leave her. So the benefits of this would very well suit her. She wouldn't have to strain her back necessarily as much, and it would be easier to access without really tripping over anything. And in the end, she really did seem to enjoy the final product, and we were just really excited to see what she had in mind. She was going to plant a variety of many different things, and on the sides where you can still see the landscaping fabric, she was going to plant some strawberries. So that's a really interesting touch of really utilizing every space that you can use. So there you go. Another method, another way to make an amazing technique that can fill you with abundance and health and empowerment. So go off, build, make Hugelkulturs, plant stuff, and just keep on learning. Alright? Peace and love, everyone.